Vanakkam. Good evening to all. Welcome all to this ISO TS 22163 2017 version of IRIS certification, Railway Quality Management System. So why we are conducting this training program? So we are under lockdown situation. Most of us are work from home. So the best precaution during this time is we have to stay at home. We have to maintain the social distancing. So Nucleus consultant wanted to utilize this time for the learning purposes. We would like to support you on upskilling, reskilling purposes. As part of this drive, we have launched this online awareness training series. We have started on 31st March with automotive quality management system. And yesterday we did with ISO 13485 medical devices quality management system. And today we are going to focus on IRIS, Railway Quality Management System. And tomorrow there will be a session for aerospace quality management. All these trainings have a 2-hour program. So it's an initial free awareness training. So what we have planned is 1.5 hours for training and 15 minutes. There is an online quiz. So people, whatever you learn from this training program, you need to have an online quiz. Then we have 15 minutes for discussions. That's the pattern of this training. So the entire training is recorded in Zoom tool. It is recorded training. It will be uploaded in YouTube also. You can see that later. Okay, so is this audio is clear? Yeah, if you feel that audio is not clear, it may be due to net connectivity. But don't worry, it will be recorded, it will be shared with you. Yeah. So we are from Nucleus Consultant. We are into consulting, training, auditing services. We provide management system consulting services, standards like quality management, environmental management, health and safety management, and information security, and so on. We are more into sector specific standard like aerospace, railways, medical devices, like that. Yeah, who were not hearing my voice, you check your device, have you muted or unmuted, right? So most of them it's clear. Right. So we have a team of 6 people. We did different, these are some solutions what we offer for automotive industries, mainly automotive quality management system, IATF 16949, and some core tools trainings and all we do. And this is what the solution we offer for aerospace and defense industry. AS 9100 series of standard, NatCap accreditation for various commodities we do. For railways, yes, we do training on this ISO TS 22163 and awareness training, internal auditor trainings, and specific train on RAMS LCC. And we also offer for medical devices industry and some other sectors like telecommunication, oil and gas industries, like that. And general industry, like we do for information security management system, and we do it for social accountability. So these are the various standards we are offering our services. So with this, I will stop introduction with Nucleus. So then we'll move into this session. So what we are going to cover today's training program. So first we'll start with what is this ISO TS 22163? What are the requirements in this standard? We are going to focus on railway specific requirements. We'll be highlighting most into that. And there will be online course for 15 online evaluation is there. Then we'll move to the question and answer session. So this training doesn't make you an expert in the subject. This will help you to understand the standard in a better way. That's what the whole purpose of this training. Okay, so now what the standard is? Is it the standard for a railway application? Is it a quality management system? Is it a business management system required for rail organization? Or is it implementing of ISO 9001 for rail management system? But the standard is, technically speaking, this is for all. This is the standard for business management system, requirements for rail organization. It includes all the requirement of ISO 9000 and 2015. So this particular standard is owned by ISO. It has a lot of rail specific supplemental requirement. And we have IRIS certification rules. These are all prepared by UNIFI. They prepares the IRIS certification rules and regulations. Based on that, IRIS certification is offered. So this IRIS standard is only applicable to rolling stock organizations and signaling organizations. When we say rolling stock and signaling, people who are designing, manufacturing, and provide maintenance of this rolling stock and signaling companies, it's applicable. So this UNIFI is nothing but the European Rail Supply Industry Association. So they have launched this IRIS program. This IRIS program is based on some assessment that is completely managed by UNIFI. So what is rolling stock? What are all covered under rolling stock? The term rolling stock is used in the railway industry. It's applicable to all railway vehicles, either it's for locomotive, railroad, cars, coaches, private road rails, wagons, everything. I think most of who are attending this training program, you are from a hardcore rolling stock industry, right? Most of you are exposed with what is this rolling stock is. I think few of them are not from railway industry. Yeah, Mr. Chandra Perumal, don't panic. This will be recorded. We will be sharing this, right? Don't worry. But I think most of them, it's very clear. Let's see. Yeah. So what are all covered under this IRIS certification? These are the various products. There is EN 153802-2 railway application. They have their own codification. The same code is aligned with this IRIS certification. So these are the various products you could see: braking system, interiors, doors and the entrance, HVAC, lighting. Look at this 20 number. Component related to special process work, 19 single rail components. So these are the various products presently covered under IRIS certification. So who are all the members in this UNIFI? These are some of the organizations who are part of this. You might have heard about these companies. I think somebody from these companies may represent this training as part of the participants. Do you heard about these organizations? Yeah. Good. See, what these people did. So there are three important things we should understand when we are implementing IRIS. One is the standard ISO TS 22163. The other one is IRIS certification rules. This is made by UNIFI. And there are some audit tools. And there is a IRIS portal is available, and they are maintaining database people who are all certified for IRIS. So when you are practicing this, you need to consider both the references. One is the ISO published standard for rail quality management system. The other one is IRIS certification rules. So based on the certification rule, a certification body can certify your organization. So why IRIS? We could say there are three important ecosystem in railway business. One is system integrators. The other one is the equipment manufacturer. Then other operators. So all these three ecosystem wanted a basic quality management system for railway business. We all know ISO 9000 is there in the market for many years. It talks about basic quality management system, primarily focusing on customer satisfaction. But railway industries needs a different set of standard. The ISO 9001 basic standard is not sufficient. So they come up with their own version. That is what yearly we call them as IRIS standard. And recently this particular UNIFI is not developing this IRIS standard. They have stopped developing it. They have handed it over to the ISO. So now ISO is releasing the standard. So these are the four major system integrator who made some commitment to recognize the IRIS certification. So typically they won't perform business management system audit on a IRIS certified suppliers. They do have own certification mechanism, but if you have IRIS, they will recognize this. So that's what one of the mandate from these integrators. So this is one commitment from an integrator. I'll stop all these four integrators. Okay, so what is IRIS and what it is not? Let's have a discussion here. I think most of them are said not audible. I don't know what happened. Yeah, so now, okay, I'm going to share a number here. Please discuss with this number. They will help you. So reach this number. If you have any audio issue, it will be get clarified. Okay, so this IRIS is a common global system for business management system specific to railway industry. We use the word particularly here, business management system. We all heard about quality management system. What is this business management system? Can anyone? What is business management system? So what do you mean by business management system? So this railway industry is focusing a lot on business management system. Let's have a small look. What is this business management system? Dedicated system for business. What else? Business objective. What else? Execution of business plan and strategies. Integration of all domains of railway industry in an organization. So a lot of viewpoint we have with respect to this business management system. Okay, let's see what the standard is. See, this includes the entire ISO 9001 requirements, and they do have a unique questionnaire. Considering this business management system concept, they have developed a unique questionnaire UNIFI has developed it, and they do have an evaluation process, and they use an audit tool. This is something new from other management system. And one thing we should keep in mind, the standard is not going to evaluate your financial, technical, or contract specific requirement. So they are going to focus more on a business management system. So they do have their own additional requirements. It talks about entire business process in an organization. It starts from tendering, development of your production process, then delivery, then after delivery, what are the maintenance activity you perform on this particular product. So everything is part of this particular IRIS certification. Then what happened to this, the earlier version of IRIS certification? A draft standard is developed by UNIFI. They have submitted this to ISO. So ISO take care of after that. There is a technical committee, ISO TC 269 railway application. So they have developed this particular ISO TS 22163 standard, and UNIFI will be taking care of certification rules. So this is what a small introduction about what the standard is. So we need to remember a few things when we are approaching this ISO TS 22163. The first one is, whenever you refer the word quality management system, that is there in ISO 9001 text. There are various places we are going to refer business management system, that is part of ISO TS 22163 requirement. And various places we are going to use the word safety. In the entire ISO TS 22163, the word safety means it's not occupational safety or safety of an employee. It is safety of the product. It's purely product safety. That's what we need to understood before reading the standard. And this one I would like to highlight here purposefully. The intent of the standard. The intent is not have a proper uniformity in the documentation within the various organizations. The intent is not use the same specific terminologies. I am particularly highlighting this particular word. The standard doesn't mandate you need to use the same terminology used in the standard. For example, there is a terminology we use the word here, EPPS. Heard about this? Anyone here? What is EPPS? Can anyone just explain here in the forum? Perfectly. It is externally provided processes, products, and services. So there is no mandate you need to use this EPPS in your organization. If you read ISO TS 22163, they made it very clear. There is no mandate you have to use the same type of terminologies. So this standard has some lot of additional requirement, and there are some optional requirement. Those are all identified as should. Whenever you see a word shall, it is mandatory. We are all well aware about that. Any management system, they follow this particular pattern. But when we see a word should, it is an optional requirement. In addition to that, there are a lot of KPI requirement in the standard. I think most of us are aware about KPI, right? We call them as process measures, metrics, KRA. Every organization using their own terminology. So what is the term you are using in your organization for this? KPI? Can anyone? Key process index, key process indicators, goals, objectives. So it's up to you to decide, but this ISO TS 22163 mandated few KPIs. We are going to see that what are those KPIs. Okay, then look at this. There is an IRIS audit tool developed by UNIFI. This tool is used by your certification body auditors when they perform an audit. This tool consists of a lot of questions. There are 870 mandatory questions. These 870 mandatory requirements are converted into 300 questions. It depends on what is your scope of certification. So based on that, this is going to be audited. And there are some knockout questions. This is typically a prerequisite, we could say. If you want to go for IRIS certification, you might are going to face the readiness audit, right? Stage 1 audit, we call them as. So during that, this knockout question will be verified. Not only during stage 1 audit, every audit knockout question will be audited. We need to prove that these basic knockout requirements are established in your own business management system. So the entire standard is appraised more on customer focus and performance level. And the standard mandate the usage of turtle diagram. And also there is a concept called as peer process effectiveness assessment reviews for few mandatory processes. And finally, they are going to come up with a scoring matrix. Then they will conclude where we are. It is graded as bronze, silver, and gold. As of now, the bronze level is open, silver and gold yet to launch. This is what typically they classify the audit outcome. Bronze is the basic level, which means the requirements of ISO TS 22163 are met and it is in place in your organization. Whereas silver level, it's a bit advanced. So it's more focused on customer perceptions and your KPI. So through that, your quality management system will be assessed. And the gold level is the highest level. It's very clear that there is a proof you are optimized customer perception. So these are the various levels available, but presently the bronze level is available for certification. I think we are going to get silver by this year. So these are the 10 knockout questions. So if you look at this class numbers, these class numbers are completely unique. These class numbers are not there in our ISO 9001. Correct. See, ISO 9001 starts 6.1.1, 6.1.2. There is no 6.1.3. So here there is one additional mandatory requirements, which means you should have a process, documented process for risk management. The similar way, 7.2.1. Here we have to retain some documented information for your competency management. And this one is very huge requirement, 8.1.3, project management. So project management is one of the biggest requirement in the entire business management system. So we should have a documented process, how we are going to manage project. Then 8.1.4 is for configuration management. And 8.1.5 is for change management, changes. What are the changes may happen in an organization? Can you name some changes? What are the changes? What are the changes? Layout change, engineering changes, man, machine, methodology, material, supplier change. See, there are different type of changes we could say. Changes to your quality management system, changes on project requirement, changes to contract requirement, changes to product, changes to regulatory requirement, changes in your manufacturing process, right? So we can say this change. Change may happen anywhere in the organization at any point of time. So how we are going to deal with that? That's what this particular class. Then 8.2.5. This is a requirement for requirements management. So we should have a proper procedure or proper documented process how we are going to manage the requirements. When you say requirements, requirement from your customers, requirements about product. Then 8.4.4.1, that's what we talks about EPPPS, right? Externally provided processes, products and services. And there is one more process we need to establish for special process, how we are going to deal with that. Then 8.8, it's completely unique requirement for railway business. This is RAMS and LCC. Reliability, availability, maintainability, safety. That is what RAMS, and LCC, life cycle costing. And there is one more requirement, first article inspection. So these are all the 10 knockout requirement, which is particularly addressed in ISO TS 22163. So this is like we call them as prerequisite requirement. Okay, so how they will do an audit, IRIS certification, how it will happen? Audit results are typically scored It is not a yes or no, pass fail and all. Typically in readiness review we will do knockout yes or no, whereas in certification audit or the compliance audit, the audit results are scored, and they will use some scale with 5 levels based on they will measure your maturity. It's a maturity based audit. There are 5 maturity levels for open questions. If there is any closed questions like knockout, we need to answer only yes or no. So typically this is how we need to interpret. When the standard says shall, obviously there is a mandatory requirement. When the standard say should, it always offers the potential for improvement, and whatever written in the note, it's only guidance purpose, not even auditable. This is how we have to approach the standard. So how they will score it? There are 3 important pillars we should consider here. This is the pillars used by the certification by auditor, but it is not given in the standard of ISO TS 22163. It is developed by UNIFI. In their audit rules, they have addressed this. So there are 3 important factors here. One is enablers evaluation. They will verify what are the requirements in the standard, how you are complying, and they will grade it. If there is no requirement, not at all the process is established, it's 0, insufficient. And there is any such non-conformity, they will read it as 1, the defined means 2, qualified means 3, optimized means 4. Typically for poor and insufficient, it's become a non-conformity. Based on the impact, they will classify major or minor. So this is one particular important pillar, verifying the requirements against their own maturity model. The second important pillar is customer perception. How the organization is established a process for customer perception. How you do stakeholder needs and expectation, we call them a stakeholder analysis. Then customer orientations. What is your internal KPI? How these internal KPIs are connected with your customer perception. So that's what customer perception part. Then performance evaluation. It is not just enough saying that you are meeting the requirements. You need to prove that how effective your process is. So these are the 3 important pillars used by the certification body auditors during IRIS audit. So this is what the level we have discussed. So insufficient means you are not at all meeting the requirement. Poor means you are partially meet the requirement. Defined means yes, requirement is met. Still you can get only 2 points here. But you need to focus on, because it's a maturity model, right? So we need to focus on the requirement is exceeded in a positive part. Then the requirement should be exceeded and you have to continually improve it. So this is what the overall maturity model. This will be used in the third party audit. There is no mandate you have to use the same methodology in your internal audit. There is no such mandatory requirement. Then customer perception, this is the second pillar, right? So there are 3 ways how we need to evaluate the customer perception. The first one is a stakeholder analysis. Who are all your stakeholders, like interested parties? What is their needs and expectation with respect to your business management system? Have you analyzed it? Have you taken necessary action on it? That is one key factor. The second one is, how about the specific interested parties relevant to your organization? The third one is, what is your internal KPI? How these KPIs are connected with your customer perception. So this is the second pillar they will use for your audit score. Then the third one is, this is what I have mentioned, how this specific KPI are connected with your customer perception. For example, let's look at here E, which means KPI is not completely documented, established and maintained, and they will grade it accordingly. So this is called as process effectiveness assessment report, PEER. So based on this, look at this, there are 2 horizontal and vertical line. So look at this vertical line, it talks about process application. Have you implemented the requirements of your business management system? Then look at this horizontal line, process performance. Have you achieved your business goals? So with this context, this PEER is going to be used. I think the similar PEER is used in other management system like aerospace certification. If you are familiar with the AS 9100, we will use the similar type of period format in aerospace business. So these are the three methodology used in audit scores. This diagram, you might have seen this diagram at various places. I'll just explain this my own way. If you look at this green color, if you have ISO 9001, the basic quality management system, so you are fulfilling this green color. And look at this red color. That's a huge portion of the entire graph is covered by red, right? So those are all ISO TS 22163 mandatory requirements. So these are all the 870 mandatory requirements we have discussed, right? So this will be converted into 300 question. That is what we used in our audit. And this blue color are for optimization, further maturity model should requirement. So we put this way, green is ISO 9001 shall requirement, red means ISO TS 22163 shall requirement, and blue means ISO TS 22163 should require. But when we are implementing QMS, we need to consider all. Okay, so now what is there in the standard? So far we have seen just what the standard is, who made it, and what is the way of performing an audit. That's what this is. Okay, so now we will move to the requirements. There are 10 class structure here. The high level structure is adopted. Class 1, 2, 3 are very general. 4 to 10 is what the exact requirement. So class 4 talks about context of the organization. Class 5 talks about leadership. Class 6 talks about planning. Class 7 talks about support. Class 8 talks about operation. Class 9 talks about performance evaluation. And class 10 talks about improvement. So if you look at this structure, this is similar to ISO 9001. And all the requirement of ISO 9000 is addressed here. See, I'll put this way. I think few of the participants have attending the past 2 days training and you are joining this third day. This question is for others who have joined today. See, if you remember, the basic concept of any management system is PDCA, plan, do, check, act, right? So can you just answer which are the classes are fall under plan and which are the covers under do, check, act under this 4 to